Aloy, you think we can talk? There she is.
Maniacs, lava. What's not to like?
I'll remember that next time
At least I got what we needed to trap a...
Good thing I got my... Oh, before I forget. Here. Something to commemorate our mission. We did good together.
Yeah, we did. Have you spoken with...
Yeah, when she's not reading the archives like a giddy kid drinking her first... She took to that new focus. I gotta say, I'm a little jealous, but I can see why you two...
You look tough.
Ha! I've just been making sure that we want to be the usual screw...
You'll do fine. I should get...
As soon as you...
I'll give you the head...
From the look on your...
I got Omega clearance. Is everyone ready to head out to Cauldron Gemini?
As soon as you give...
Did Alva make it here?
Our new Quen friend, the moment she laid eyes on the archive...
Sounds about right. Now that I have Omega clearance, we can grab Hephaestus and finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging Thunderjaws.
Better them than us. Once Gaia is back up and running, I expect you.
The seeds have been planted. What?
I'm glad you and Zoe found it.
Don't forget.
I should...
Of course.
Welcome back.
Good to be back. Have you met our new Quen?
I could barely keep up as she gave herself a tour of the base. Varl gave her a new focus. Though when he told her she turned so pale, I thought she... We showed her to the archive. She hasn't left the place.
Sounds like all... Read anything in...
I found out the old ones used leaf infusions, like the Utaru. Apparently it helped soothe them. That and some sort of cleanse their or... Me,
Anything...
Aaron told us how you tracked down the Oseram supplying Regala with... In fact, he's quite adamant about... But I can tell it meant a lot that...
I wouldn't have been able to track them down. How are things with
Slightly quieter. Aaron's been busy. Apparently the old ones called it metal versus meat. A must-see battle, but you'd think we have enough of that.
I need to...
Right, that means we'll be...
Aloy!
Right to work, I see.
There's just so much. I mean, we knew of artificial beings that served the ancestors, but Gaia? Oh, she's amazing! And you, a true reincarnation of an ancestor. Genetically speaking, of course, not like the, late CO. And there's more ancestors out there, returned from beyond the stars. Of course, they're trying to kill us, which is not great. And Eric Visser is with them, which is disturbing. And then there's Hephaestus, and...
Okay. How about we take it one step at a time?
You're right. I also owe you an explanation for everything that happened at Landfall.
You mentioned the reason you came here was to help your family. Your sister...
Her name is Alika. Our parents are commoners. Peasants, really. When I passed the divination exams, it brought honor to our family, ending... Only Alika begged me not to leave for the research academy.
Why?
Alika knew that once you enter, you're not allowed to leave or see not even your family. Unless you can get
Sounds harsh.
like the focuses we keep. Diviners are, fearful that last time I was allowed to see my family. Because of my position, I was able to get them refuge from the... But if our crops don't recover soon, they'll...
I promise I'll do my best. The ancestors, is that what your people call the...
Yes and no. The ancestor... Those whose legacy taught us warfare, leadership...
The CEO called Elizabeth Sobek an assistant. What's that about?
Right. Well... Any old one of the ancestors, that's how we thought of Sobek. Until we met you. Our limited access to data past the late 20s misinformed our view of the past.
You said you owed me an explanation for what happened in Thebes. I'm listening.
Right. I'll start at the beginning. He was an Imperial, the Emperor's nephew, in fact. As such, he sponsored many diviners to search the legacy for anything that might help the tribe, and himself. He took a special interest in anything related to Hfw8, whom we consider the greatest of the ancestors.
Hfw8, revered ancestor.
I know better now. Anyway, the diviners discovered that Pharaoh spent a great deal of time in San Francisco. In fact, many of the most important. So the Emperor's nephew convinced him that an exit across the ocean might solve. If only we could find the right data in this fabled city. Perhaps we could roll back the flood. The Emperor declared that all the tribe's resources be poured. Dozens of ships, scouting missions, and the Emperor's nephew, one who wields the legacy for the good of the living embodiment of Hfw8, the Renewer. It may seem strange now, but for a time we really believed. We had no idea just how perilous.
You said the expedition across the sea was more dangerous than you thought it would be. What happened?
We lost most of our ship and scores of soldiers perished. And that was before we even hit the... Once we landed, machines ripped our... and we struggled to replenish our... There were bright spots, to be sure. We found Thebes and the greenhouse. But nothing improved the CEO's mood as his dreams of saving the... He became more and more obsessed with Thebes and more convinced that the title of CEO was no mere honorific. You heard him. Spouting nonsense about Pharaoh's essence and some kind of becoming. We knew these weren't the words of a sane man, but he was quick to put any who spoke out in front of...
What a great guy.
The Quen are wrong about many things when it comes to the legacy, but what the CEO became was a complete principled diviner stand for. I'm sorry you had to endure his madness.
So, Bohai, your overseer. Will he run things?
He won't execute people on a whim, but he's hardly a paragon of... I can't tell you how many times he took credit for data in the legacy that I uncovered. The best thing I can say about him is that he can be trusted to always do what's best for him.
Yep, sounds about... Back at the greenhouse, you spoke of knowledge forbidden to your people.
Diviners are meant to... and many Imperials sponsor them in the hope the Empire can put to use. But the Board of Overseers... detrimental. Like discovering one of our... That is why diviners are only allowed to access... Only Overseers... It ensures that any heretical...
What happens to...
I never had...
You mentioned Eric Visser? How do you know about him?
The Zenith who tried to kill you? He is known to the Quen as the Protector. Combing through data related to his work led us to breakthroughs related to weapons and military knowledge our rulers use to conquer and expand. That's why he's one of our most revered. But based on your encounter, it appears he's even more yet another distorted.
Well, at least your piece...
If only the Overseers...
Beta mentioned other Zeniths. Tilda...
I'm afraid I don't... Whatever legacy they left behind...
I see you've been using...
It's been fat. What would have taken me years, like the database you helped with this? This could revolutionize how divine... That is, whatever part of...
You wanted data.
A diviner has never... And knowing you, I suspect... But I was sent here to help... Maybe it'll help the Quen find...
I imagine you don't know anyone here that well yet, but they're a good group.
It's funny because one of your friends is, well, another you. Not that you are the same person at all. I mean, you are, as in, you're, but even so.
Yeah. I hope everyone's been...
Oh, yeah, and it's refreshing. Back home, diviners can only share a day.
Sounds
Yeah, you are...
I need to get going.
All I need... The plan Gaia told me about, it will help set...
I hope so.
Then I will...
Aloy, well met. We've been briefed on our mission and are ready whenever you wish to...
Were you able to finish the new arc?
Indeed. I was
How were your studies?
I wanted to learn...
And?
I looked up this pharaoh, Gaius, and learned about the plague. To think that the ancient world was... There is no glory or honor in such a...
That about some... Have you...
The Quen is peculiar. Her mind is sharp, but it's hard to imagine her survive.
Trust me.
I will take it.
Did Aaron tell you we've rebels the power to over...
He told me of the... I suggested he etch this victim.
Is he...
He didn't say no.
You wanted to talk about...
Indeed.
Okay.
Not how. Where? Will you meet me where we felled Regala's tremor tusk? Right where the river bends?
Sure, if you want.
You'll see when we get there.
Then I'll let you know when I...
You have my thanks.
I have...
Then do...
Like I said, I'll call you when I'm...
May the 10 guide your way.
Anybody seen one of my machine strike pieces around?
Why don't you check the cache? Maybe you left it there when you dropped off all...
This must be from the cool route. Between the Rockbreaker and the Slither Thing, Regala really wrecked the arena. And I have a feeling she won't stop trying until Hikaru's dead. Pretty sure this is where Kotalo wanted us to test his new arm. Not sure what he has in mind, though. I should contact him. Let him know I'm here. Hey, Kotalo. I'm by the Tremor Tusk site, where we agreed to meet. Want to test that new arm of yours?
I'll be there shortly. Thank you for waiting.
Maybe now you can tell me what we're doing here?
Not just yet. Follow me, please.
Someone's being awfully mysterious.
You took your sweet time telling me what you wanted to do to the bulwark. Consider this my revenge.
Fair enough.
This is it.
What am I looking at?
Oh, you'll see. Come.
All right, talk to me, Kotalo.
I wish to test the arm on that. It has menaced the valley for some time. Killed more than a few of the Sky Clan. But no longer.
I'm honored to help.
After you. Let's see how this thing likes the taste of metal.
Try and throw it!
I think it's safe to say the new arm works fine.
Agreed.
Then why are you taking it off?
This is what I am now. What I overcame. Anything else feels... wrong. Like a disguise. I'll use the new arm when I need it, but the rest of the time, I will simply be myself.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
You have my thanks for doing this with me. Here. Something to mark our victory.
Thank you. I'll see you later then.
The Ten be with you, Aloy.
Welcome back. Aloy, I know your experience in Thebes was unsettling, but we have a new problem.
Did something go wrong with Beta and the rig? Will we be able to transport you to Gemini?
The rig is complete. The problem is Hephaestus itself. It has accelerated its proliferation throughout the Cauldron network, increasing its power.
But with your sub-functions restored, we can still succeed, right?
Correct. But the net effect is that absorbing Hephaestus will take longer than previously calculated.
How long?
Even with Omega clearance, my current estimate is that the merge will take 35 hours.
And each hour increases the risk of detection by the Zeniths. Two cores. Two overrides. What if the merge were carried out by two clones of Elizabeth Sobek, both armed with Omega clearance? How long then? Half the time?
Hephaestus would be unprepared for the simultaneous labor of two operators, in addition to obvious synergetic efficiencies. Calculating. It would reduce the merge time to approximately 4.5 hours.
Okay. Varl, it looks like we're gonna need Beta at Gemini. Do you think you can convince her?
I don't know, but I'll try.
What about our diversion? Are the pulse generators ready?
Only a final test remains. I am confident that if fired in proximity to other cauldrons, the pulses will mask our activities at Gemini from the Zeniths.
Good. As long as Aaron can operate one without shooting himself in the face.
Aloy, you better get down here. Beta's in bad shape.
Okay.
Aloy. I tried, but it's impossible. I don't think anything will convince her to go.
We don't have a choice.
Good luck.
Beta, you have to come with us. It's the only way. It's one mission. The most important one. We need you. Tell me why you won't go. What if they take me back? Alone, in a cell again. Their slave. Forever. Varl and I will be at Gemini too. I'll protect you. As soon as we get Hephaestus, we'll come straight back here. The Zeniths aren't going to find us. You don't have to be afraid. No! You can't protect me. Nothing can protect me from them. I told you from the beginning, we'll never beat them. It's hopeless. Beta. Leave me alone! You don't understand! You're right. I don't understand. We have the same genes, the same mind, the same heart. So why can't you find the strength to do what has to be done? Like Elizabeth would. Don't you think I've thought about that? I don't know what piece of Elizabeth I'm missing. I don't know what you have that I don't. I look through all the data from your focus. You were raised as an outcast, shunned, and isolated just like me, so what's the difference? What's my defect? Beta, you don't have a defect. Beta, look, it's not a piece of Elizabeth. The difference is, I had him. Frost. He raised you, trained you, but he was never warm or loving. The day he died, the day he gave you that charm, he was going to abandon you. He wanted me to embrace the tribe. But then he gave his life for mine. He loved me in his own way. And that was enough. What did it feel like? It was like having a strength that was always there. It's still there. Even now I hear him in my head when things get bad. When it looks impossible, look deeper. And then fight like you can win. You don't have to go on the mission. We'll find another way. I'll go. You said you'd try to protect me. I believe you. But you have to promise me one thing. Yes, of course. If it goes bad, if the Zeniths find us, I don't want to be their slave again. Do you understand? Okay. Promise? I promise. I could use as much time as you can give me to study up on the merge, to make it as efficient as possible. I'll be ready when you are. I swear. Hey, I am. So how goes studying up on Guy and I have added a function that will display a holographic interface to visual. It should make expunging its malicious code a little more efficient. That's great. Whatever we can do to cut down the merge time is going to good work. I'll continue to search, but whenever you're ready. Alva's joined us. She told me she's not allowed to access a lot of the similar to the restrictions I had in my. I told her that if we succeed at Gemini, then once we return, I'll help her search. Even though Gaia will fix the biosphere, it'll take time. So, I want to help. How so? Bioengineering of more resilient plant strain, novel crop production methods, something that might help. I'm sure she'll appreciate. So when you talk to the... No, they'll come down here to visit. I wish I could show him the media portal and the data channel. I think he would like the sport. There was one where criticize each other before wrestling to see. It was bizarre and... Yeah, you're right. I gotta go.
All right.
Fighting immortals from the stars now?
Looks like it.
What's next?
So this data...
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. The ones Gaia and Beta built. But craftsmanship is... Is everything all right?
Not anymore.
To understand one an... Oh! And...
You mentioned there was...
Yes. So I found references to an old world system back in the Great Delta. It's called Leviathan. My people discovered it, a sprawling network of river gates, and the legacy revealed that the old ones used it to control flooding. But we've never got... But the data from the greenhouse mentions the... It's in San Francisco.
Another Pharaoh facility?
No. Leviathan was a project by Eileen Sasaki, another ancestor. So, the legacy tells us, anyway, if we can acquire that data, we might be able to fix the system back in the Great Delta. Every year, my sister gets terrified with Leviathan.
Okay.
That's the thing. The dare, exactly. But would you come with me? You're much better at fighting machines than...
Of course. I'll let you know when I...
Thank you.
Make sure...
Mayor Pat.
And... Like I said, I'll let you know when I'm in landfall.
I appreciate it.